The overlapping of the Christian Holy Week and the 8-day celebration of Passover culminates into the celebration of Easter and the resurrection of Jesus the Christ. Side by side, these holy days bring to light the deep structures of both holidays, one Jewish and one Christian, that are intertwined and face the inevitability of death head on. But more so, both also face the power of life and reawakening. Their inviolable matrix is spring. Therefore, both nature and history converge with a message of hope and delivery from a state of despair through the presence of the holy and celebrating the lessons to learn from the natural world. This is a time of great imbalance on our planet Earth. And yet there is still a view that somehow we are separate from the earth. The world is in great peril because we are mindlessly destroying the very web of life that holds us all together. Every aspect of life on the planet is profoundly altered by the way our culture has organized its existence. Climatic changes combined with habitat destruction and pollution are causing loss of species, forests, human settlements, glaciers, and coastal heritage sites. Yet some believe that global warming is a hoax and that our ability to create technology will cure any environmental ill that we engender to this planet. Even if they're correct, this doesn't change the very spiritual stewardship that we have as human beings in the midst of a larger creation, that there's a responsibility to the natural system we live in. We cannot escape our involvement any more than we can escape breathing in the air that has traveled from planets thousands of miles away. The seventh principle of Unitarian Universalism calls us to respect the interdependent web of all existence, which we are part of. It's time we broaden our horizons as far as 7 generations forward to appreciate, respect, and live out that principle. It's time to find small and large ways to remember the environment in our worshiping, our celebrating, and our justice making. Now is the time to turn our attention to the future and set about the task of restoration by acknowledging the earth as it speaks its symptoms to us. Recognizing all of this, we ask the earth for answers and listen to it as our teacher. Earth, teach me stillness as the grasses are stilled with light. Stillness is our essential nature. It's the inner space of awareness in which the words on the pages of a book are perceived and become thoughts. Without that awareness, there would be no perception, no thoughts, and no world. When we lose touch with inner stillness, we lose touch with ourselves, then lose ourselves in the world. Recognizing the depth and urgency of the environmental crisis, we must answer the earth's call to the spirit. We are all woven into the process of the earth, both physically and spiritually. All healing involves making whole again and healing ourselves while working to resolve the human earth contradictions in our ecology is the same work. Earth, teach me caring as parents who secure their young. Theologian Howard Thurman suggested we not ask the world what it needs, but ask what makes us come alive. Then go out and do it. The sense of expanded identity goes beyond human relationships because we depend upon trees, trees depend upon grasses, grasses depend upon animals, mountains depend upon oceans, and the dolphin depends upon the farthest star. And the world needs people who have come alive. Earth, teach me suffering as old stones suffer with memory. Life is a series of deaths, both large and small. We're called again and again to put ourselves forward, to embrace life and move through hurt and pain. The resurrection story is a universal one that symbolizes our hope of the emergence of new life in the midst of despair. As surely as spring follows winter, we are called to life again. Millions of people die each year resulting from direct ecological collapse because we are destroying the web of life. The world needs people to answer the earth's call for what is needed. Earth, teach me courage as the tree which stands all alone. The ecological crisis is a crisis of the spirit. Deep problems call for religious answers, and we must bring concerns for the earth to live deep in our hearts. Unitarian Universalism has been in the forefront of the struggles for peace and racial justice. Now we should take the lead in defending the earth. The seventh principle project serves as a model to us in ways of greening our sanctuaries and our planet. That we care for the earth and respect our neighbors locally and globally raises Unitarian Universalist visibility because this action demonstrates one of the core messages of our faith. Earth, teach me limitation as the ant which crawls on the ground. It has been said that there are no great deeds, only small ones done with great love. The late John Mayer, pioneer and Harvard nutritionist, estimated that reducing meat production by just 10% in the United States would free enough grain to feed over 60 million people. Earth, teach me freedom as the eagle which soars in the sky. What better way is there to show the power and relevance of our faith than through our actions? What the world needs now is what religion at its best does best: confront, inspire, and instruct. Earth, teach me resignation as the leaves which die in the fall. When we speak of community, we must understand that community occurs not just in space, but also in time, extended backward through memory and tradition, and forward through vision and legacy. Let us each resolve to walk easy on the earth, use no more of its resources than we need, and restore the earth where we are. Earth, teach me regeneration as the seed which rises in the spring. There are no guarantees in the work of resurrection. We don't know whether resurrection will take place or where the miracle of it will take us. But throughout our lives, death and resurrection are necessary. And we know that there's something in our heart that we want brought back to life. All environmental work is justice work. And the greatest justice issue of all is intergenerational theft. Because each day that we live unsustainably, we steal from generations. We are all interconnected to nature and the earth, even through the simple act of planting a tree. Let us plant trees and listen to what the earth is telling us. Earth, teach me to forget myself as melted snow forgets its life. Francis Moore Lepay, author of A Diet for a Small Planet, invites us to imagine ourselves sitting down to an 8-ounce steak. Then she says, imagine the room filled with 45 to 50 people with empty bowls in front of them. For the feed cost of our steak, each of the bowls could be filled with a full cup of cooked cereal grains. Whether you self-identify as vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, or somewhere in between as flexitarian, the name I call myself, as one who has a plant-based diet, occasionally eating meat and seafood. Each of us can play a part in creating a more sustainable planet. We can begin with meatless Mondays and move through the week with other creative ways to lighten our carbon footprint. Earth, teach me to remember kindness as dry fields weep with rain. Every one of us has experienced some suffering. To encounter and experience suffering is part of the human condition. However, we are reborn, resurrected, if you will, when realizing through kindness and compassion that being imperfect doesn't make any one of us unworthy of love. Now is the time for us to come prepared with the anointing oil of compassion for the broken and woundedness that we bear witness to in our families, our communities, and in the world at large. If we claim to live an embodied, reflective faith, as we feel and see the trauma of our earth and the people who inhabit it, open your heart to the call of our Mother Earth to be restored. Make one step forward towards the thriving world we envision, because we depend on the earth and the earth depends on us. We need only allow her to teach us. From my heart to yours, may it be so.